Have you ever hit the gym, crushed a workout, and thought, am I getting stronger, or am I just making these biceps look good? Let's face it, the line between training for strength and building muscle can be super confusing. One day, you're trying to deadlift like a powerlifter. The next, you're chasing that bodybuilder pump. So, which one is it? And does it even matter? Oh, trust me, it does. Welcome back to Flex and Shred, the ultimate fitness channel that's all about giving you the knowledge to flex smarter and shred harder. Today, we're diving deep into the epic showdown between strength and muscle. You're going to learn the science, the techniques, and the key differences between training like a strong man and sculpting your physique like a Greek statue. But wait, before we get into the nitty-gritty, hit that like button if you're pumped about learning something new today. Comment below with your current fitness goal. Are you team strength, team muscle, or somewhere in between? And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Flex and Shred and turn on those notifications. We've got so much value-packed content coming your way. You'll be hitting new PRs just by watching. Now, let's clear up the confusion so you're not wasting another sweat session wondering why you're stuck on the same results. Ready to separate fact from fiction and choose the right path for your goals? Let's get into it. So, what does it actually mean to train for strength? Spoiler alert, it's not about how big your biceps look in a selfie, though that's a nice bonus. Training for strength focuses on performance, specifically your ability to lift heavier and heavier weights over time. Think of it as upgrading the engine under your hood rather than adding shiny paint. When you train for strength, the goal is neuromuscular efficiency. That's just a fancy way of saying your brain gets better at telling your muscles to fire harder and faster. It's less about building the size of your muscles and more about teaching your body how to use them efficiently. This is why many strength-focused athletes like powerlifters or Olympic lifters might not look as muscular as bodybuilders, but they can lift weights that'll make your jaw drop. The training style, strength training, typically involves low rep ranges. We're talking 1 to 6 reps per set with heavier weights. This approach prioritizes building maximum force. The rest periods are longer too, often 2 to 5 minutes, because moving heavy loads takes serious recovery time. Exercises are usually compound movements, like squats, bench presses, and deadlifts, since these recruit multiple muscle groups for maximum strength development. The results you can expect over time, you'll notice significant increases in your max lifts and overall power. You might not get the swollen look of a bodybuilder, but you'll see functional strength improvements that carry over into sports, everyday activities, or just winning arm wrestling matches at family dinners. Strength training is about testing your limits and breaking through them, physically and mentally. Now, if this sounds like your jam, great, but what if your goal is to look like the Hulk instead of just moving like him? That's where hypertrophy training comes in, and we're breaking it all down in the next section. Alright, now let's talk about training for muscle, aka hypertrophy training, the art and science of making your muscles grow. If you're dreaming of those sleeve-busting biceps or perfectly sculpted quads, this is where the magic happens. Hypertrophy is all about increasing the size of your muscle fibers, making you look bigger, more defined, and, let's face it, downright impressive. The training style. Hypertrophy training is a bit of a numbers game. Instead of chasing 1-rep maxes, you'll focus on moderate weights and higher reps, typically in the 6 to 12 range per set. You'll want to keep your rest periods shorter, about 30 seconds to 90 seconds, to keep your muscles under tension. Why? Because that time under tension is one of the key drivers of muscle growth. Variety is another hallmark of hypertrophy training. You'll include isolation exercises like bicep curls or tricep extensions, alongside compound movements to target every muscle group. This is why bodybuilders seem to have a workout for every little muscle. You'll hit them from every angle for maximum growth. The results you can expect. The main reward of hypertrophy training is, well, muscles. You'll gain a more aesthetic, balanced physique. Plus, there are bonus perks: improved metabolism, stronger bones, and a boost in self-confidence when you catch your reflection in a shop window. But don't be fooled. Hypertrophy is no walk in the park. Those burning sensations during your sets, that's your muscles adapting and growing. However, it's less about how much weight you can move and more about how effectively you challenge your muscles. So, if you want the looks and the benefits that come with a chiseled frame, hypertrophy training is for you. But what really sets it apart from strength training training. Stay tuned, because in the next section, we'll dig into the juicy differences between these two approaches. Let's talk about the key differences in training techniques. Let's get straight into it. What exactly sets strength training apart from training for muscle growth? They may look similar, but the techniques and goals are quite different. Here's what you need to know. 1. Reps and weights. If you're training for strength, you'll focus on lifting as heavy as possible for fewer reps, usually between 1 to 6 reps per set. On the other hand, training for muscle growth is about working with moderate weights and doing 6 to 12 reps. Instead of lifting the heaviest thing in the gym, you'll concentrate on keeping good form and creating a burn in your muscles. 2. Rest periods. When training for strength, you'll need longer breaks, about 2 to 5 minutes, to recover for your next heavy lift. For building muscle, rest times are shorter, 30 to 90 seconds, to keep the muscles working harder and under constant tension. 3. Exercises. Strength training focuses on the big lifts, like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. These moves target multiple muscle groups and build overall power. Training for muscle growth adds isolation exercises, like curls or lateral raises, to target specific areas and build more defined muscle. 4. Goals and results. The goal with strength training is simple. Lift more weight over time. It's about pushing your limits in terms of power and performance. With muscle-focused training, the result is all about how your body looks: leaner, more muscular, and balanced. You're aiming to fill out those sleeves, not just lift a personal best. The key takeaway: while both methods involve lifting, their focus and results are completely different. But here's the question: can you combine these two approaches for the best of both worlds? Let's answer that in the next section. Here's the burning question: can you train for strength and build muscle at the same time? It might sound like a dream scenario, getting stronger while watching your muscles grow. Well, the good news is, you can absolutely do both. But here's the catch: it takes a strategic approach. The concept of combining strength and muscle training. If you're hoping to be both strong and muscular, you'll need to incorporate both heavy lifting and higher reps into your routine. And the best way to do this is through something called periodization. Don't worry, it sounds complicated, but it just means switching between different phases: strength training phases and muscle building phases. For example, in 1 month, you might focus on lifting heavy weights for low reps, strength, and in the next month, you might switch to moderate weights with more reps to increase muscle size. How it works. To give you the best of both worlds, you can also use a mixed approach in a single session. Here's a quick example. Start your workout with a strength-based compound exercise, like heavy squats, low reps, high weights. Then move into exercises like bicep curls or leg extensions, higher reps with moderate weight, to stimulate muscle growth. This is commonly seen in workout splits like upper-lower body training or even push-pull routines. Things to keep in mind. The challenge comes down to balancing recovery and avoiding overtraining. When you're trying to get both stronger and bigger, your body needs time to repair and rebuild. So don't forget that nutrition and rest are crucial. Keep track of your progress and adjust as needed. So yes, it's possible, and you can definitely make progress in both strength and muscle size, but you'll need to balance both styles. Let's look at the benefits and any potential drawbacks of each approach in the next section. Let's take a quick look at the benefits and drawbacks of each approach. Now that we know you can train for strength and muscle growth at the same time, let's dive into the pros and cons of each approach. Understanding the benefits and drawbacks will help you decide which one, or combination, is best for your fitness goals. Training for strength. The benefits. When you train for strength, the focus is all on power. One major benefit is that strength training builds functional strength, which translates to real-world power, like lifting heavy groceries, performing better in sports, or just pushing through life's challenges. Plus, strength training increases your overall bone density and improves your metabolic rate. You'll burn more fat while building power. The challenge? Muscle size isn't your primary goal here. So if you're after an aesthetic physique, you may not see the same muscle fullness as you would with muscle-focused training. Still, that doesn't mean your muscles aren't getting stronger. Training for muscle, the benefits. On the flip side, training for muscle growth helps you achieve the wow factor in terms of muscular definition and body composition. You'll notice bigger, fuller muscles, which are aesthetically appealing. Plus, muscle growth increases strength endurance over time. So even though you're not training with max weights, your body gets better at performing exercises with a moderate load. However, training for muscle doesn't always deliver maximal power output like strength training does. So while your muscles may look great, Your ability to lift heavy weights might plateau if you solely focus on size. The drawbacks of both. With strength training, progress can feel slower aesthetically, and muscle growth might take a back seat. For muscle growth, the downside is that focusing on aesthetics could mean neglecting functional strength and power. But guess what? You don't have to choose one. Mixing these methods means you get the best of both worlds. Strength and size. Which approach calls your name? So, here's the million-dollar question. Which approach should you choose? Training for strength or focusing on building muscle? Well, it all depends on your goals and what you're aiming to achieve in your fitness journey. Let's figure it out together. When to focus on strength training. If your primary goal is to become the strongest version of yourself, strength training is your best bet. It's perfect for athletes who need raw power, whether it's to lift more, perform better in sports, or just conquer everyday tasks like moving furniture with ease. Strength training also works well for anyone who loves chasing personal bests, improving joint stability, or developing functional, real-world strength. Strength training can even be a game changer for those looking to lose fat thanks to its metabolic effects. Building strength helps you torch calories long after the workout is over, thanks to increased muscle activity. When to focus on building muscle. On the other hand, if your main goal is to achieve a chiseled, aesthetic physique, then a muscle-building approach might be your focus. It's ideal for those who want to sculpt their bodies, fill out those t-shirts, and build a more symmetrical frame. This approach not only transforms how you look, but boosts confidence like nothing else. Building muscle is also fantastic for improving overall health. It raises your resting metabolic rate, which means you burn more calories throughout the day, and who wouldn't want that? The sweet spot. But here's the real kicker. You don't have to choose. With the right balance, you can combine both approaches into one effective program. Want to lift heavier while looking shredded? Mix it up. The best approach is the one that makes you feel excited, motivated, and unstoppable. In the next section, we'll give you some final tips and motivation to get started. Let's bring it all together, shall we? Strength training and muscle building each have their unique benefits. And no matter your goal, the real winner here is you. Whether you're lifting heavy to feel powerful or chasing the pump to look incredible, every rep brings you closer to the best version of yourself. Here's what matters most. Consistency, effort, and passion. Progress doesn't happen overnight, but every small step adds up. Maybe today you lift 50 pounds. A few weeks from now, it's 75. The beauty of fitness is watching yourself grow, both physically and mentally. But hey, don't forget, fitness is personal. What works for someone else may not work for you, and that's totally fine. Find what excites you, whether it's smashing PRs or sculpting a beach-ready body, and give it your all. And when in doubt, mix it up. Why choose when you can have both strength and muscles? Before we wrap up, here's your challenge. Take action today. Plan your next workout, commit to a goal, or even just try lifting something heavier. Every rep is a rep toward greatness. If this video gave you value, hit that like button, comment with your fitness goals, and don't forget to subscribe to Flex and Shred for more content like this. Check out my playlist on how to build muscle effectively. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and keep shredding your limits.